Hello friends, this is Sharma here. So welcome to the new tutorial of Fullyworld web tutorials. So in this tutorial we are going to create a QR reader and generator using Reactjs. So we are going to create QR code with the help of text, and then we are going to generate the QR code. We are going to read the QR code with the help of image upload. So here just see the demo here. So you can see that we have the test code, and just click on this one, and now you can just click on this QR code, and then we have this qr2.png. Just save this. So then we have to scan the QR code here. So just click here and select qr2.png and click on open. So now you can see that we have the same QR code and we have the data here, so that is test code. So this thing we are going to create in this video. So without wasting any time, let's get into the code. So first of all, we will create a simple React app. You can see that we are having the empty folder here. So here I'm going to create a new terminal here. So under this folder, just create a new terminal or open the command prompt. So you can see that I'm having the Windows terminal, and here I'm having the command prompt. So I will be using white here. So white.js I will be using to create the simple React app. So for that, here white create, so here we will use yarn. So I will be using yarn. So just yarn create white, and then simply press enter. So this is fetching the packages, linking dependencies. Now we have to mention the project name. So as my folder name will be the same, so first of all this project will be under the same folder. So here this means that it will be having the name as a project. So because I'm going to create the whole application under this folder only. So here you can mention your own project name and it will create that folder. So now simply use the arrows and select React, and then we are going to use it with JavaScript here, and then it is creating the scaffolding, and you can see that we have all the files here. So now just clear this terminal, and I am under the project only. You can see that, just use dir, and you can see that we have these files here. And now we have to install the dependencies first. So simply press yarn. So all the default dependencies will be installed successfully here, and after that we will open this in the code editor. So I will be using VS Code editor, and I will be cleaning the app, and then we are going to install the required dependencies that we need to create the application. So guys, you can see that our default dependencies are installed successfully, and I have already opened this whole folder in the VS Code editor, and I have already cleaned our whole app and opened the server in browser. So you can see that this is our server here. Simple hello world is written, and you can see that this is the simple code. Our HTML, CSS and app.css both are gone now. So here what are the dependencies that we are going to install? So first of all, we are going to use Bootstrap. So Bootstrap we are going to use to create the UI, and then we are going to use this QR code. So I will give the link in the video description for this, and this QR code we will be using to generate the QR code. And the second dependency we are going to use React QR code reader. So the only thing that we are going to do with this reader here, so user can first of all create the QR code, user can download the QR code, and when the user will upload the QR code here, for that we are going to use React QR reader. So with this you can do many things. So you can use this React QR reader to create a webcam as well. So when the webcam will be on, so you can do a scan with the help of this as well. but we are not going to use that. So in the upcoming videos, in the next video, I will tell you like how you can do how you can use webcam to scan the code as well, or in any another video. So let's install these two dependencies here. So first is React QR Reader, Bootstrap, and the last one is QRcode. So we have the three dependencies. So let's go here and open the terminal in the VS Code, and here just type yarn add React QR Reader, and we need the QR Reader. So let me recheck it again. So it is not QR Reader, it is QR code. So we need the QR code here. So QR code, and the last thing is Bootstrap. So we will be using Bootstrap here. Simply press enter and this will install all the dependencies for you. So our dependencies are installed successfully, you can see that. And now I'm closing the terminal here. So here first of all we are going to configure the Bootstrap. So for that I'm going under the main.jsx, and here we will import Bootstrap dist and bootstrap.css, and then we are going to import the JS bundle here, and then just save this. So now when you will go in the browser, so you can see the changes here. You can see that the text and also alignment has changed. So this means that Bootstrap is applied successfully here. Now let's create the UI. So we will create the UI. So here we will be having the two rows here. So two columns. Sorry, we need two columns here. So first to create the QR code, to generate the QR code, and the second box will be to read the QR code. So now let's create the UI first. So here I will be creating a component here. So first of all, components folder will be the components, and then we will be having two components here. First of all will be create QR, and the second component will be read QR. So read QR. So here what I'm going to do here, so first of all let's create a simple component RAFCE. So first is read QR. So here we don't need React for now, and RAFCE, so we don't have to import the React. So here we have create QR, and now let's go to the app.jsx. So here in the app.js, so here we are going to just write QR code reader generator, and then we will be having the class name. So class name will be m by 5. It will be good, m by 5, and then text center, and then we will be having the display 2 here, display 2, and just save it. Now you can see the changes here. Let's go here. So you can see that we have this one, QR code reader and generator. So now let's go back, and here I'm going to create one. Here will be container fluid, and then here we are going to create a row here. So we will be having the row, and then under the row we will be having the two components. So first one will be create QR. I have already imported this, and then here it will be read QR. So read QR is the just this thing. So just save this here. So we have create QR, is it right? We have create QR, and then we have read QR. So here Q should be capital. Just save this, and now here we have to change this as well. So it will be like this. Just save this, and now we can see the changes here. So you can see that we have create QR and read QR here. So now we have to make under the two columns here. So for that we are going to take the help of row, and let's go here, and here in the create QR we are going to create this one here. So here we are going to write create QR code, and then we will be having any card like this. Card body will be there. Under that we will be having the form, and we will be having the text here, and then we will be having the form group, and here we don't need the size. So instead of this, what I can do here, so instead of this form group, I am removing this. Let me close all the div. Last div I also have to close. Yeah. So here we are having the text here, text or anything that we want to do. So I'm going to remove the label also here, and in the card body, so by default first we will be having, so here we need the form as well. So form, yeah, we have the form as well, and now we will be having the class name as display flex, line items center, and we will be having the justify content between. So between will be good, and here we have to add the width here. So for that I am going to use simple styling. So its width will be like 80% will be good. So 80 or 93% like this. You can see that we have this one here, and we have this card as well. So but colMD6 is very large, so here colMD4 will be enough, I think. Yeah, you can see that colMD4 is enough here. So now let's add something in a text here. So first of all, there will be border 0. So border we don't have, or just write border border top 0. So you can see that we are not having border top 0, and then border left start 0 and border end 0, means border from left and border from right. So we both not need this, and here we need the margin as well. So margin bottom, so margin bottom to 4. That's great. And here we can do one thing. So we can move this to here MX auto. So this will be in the center by default. So by default it is in the center. So that's okay. Now you can see that we have this shadow here. So we don't want this box shadow. So for that I'm going to write outline none. So we have outline none here. So we have to mention important as well. So important, just save this. This outline is not working. And then box shadow. So we have box shadow none and important as well. Just save this. We still have the box shadow. And then there is one thing more. So there is outline, yeah, so that's weird, but it's not working, no problem. Then here we will be having one button. So button will be there, and type will be submit. So btn primary will be there, and width by default is 7%. So here what I'm going to do here, generate, just write generate, and we are going to close the button here. So you can see that we have this generate here, and I have to remove this. Yeah, actually we have this error. We have this line items center, and you can see that we have this generate is the very big bird, so that we don't want. So we have the add here, or just add the plus sign, so that will be great. Yeah, you can see that plus sign is looking good, and I'm going to remove the width. Now you can see that it's looking very beautiful, and instead of 93, So 90% is enough, and justify, so we have the wrong spellings, justify content between. So that's great. So we can mention here anything, like I'm writing the placeholder here, placeholder, enter text. So you can see the placeholder here. Now at the bottom we are going to show the QR. So that QR we are going to show. So by default it will be null here, and for the card I'm going to remove the border. You can see that now the border is not there and it's looking much better. So we have done with create QR UI, and now let's go to the read QR here. So here we are going to do the same thing. Just I'm going to copy everything here, copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. And then here will be read QR code, and border will also be 0. And here instead of this submit button, so what will be there? I'm not going to use form anymore, nor any form. And then here we have this form control, and here button is there. So button will be there. So just write button, type submit, and after that not submit, here button will be there, and btn success, and here we will write scan QR. So scan QR code and just save this. So now you can see the changes here as well. So we have read QR is there. So why it's not coming? So we have the H1 as well. Is it good? So read QR. So it's capital Q. Just save this. So now you can see that we have this scan QR code button as well. So when the user will click on this, so we want to open the dialog box, so that this read QR reader library will do it automatically. Just one function we have to write, so this will do it automatically. And so for now we have created the UI here, so you can see that UI is quite looking good. So now our first motive is to create the QR code. So for that we are going to use QRcode library, and here the user will enter the text, and when user will press this button here, so for now I haven't submitted the form, means form is there, but I have not handled the form submission, so that's why it is refreshing and question mark is coming. So here whenever user will add something and click on plus icon, so QR code will generate the QR code and it will be here. So QR code will be here, and when user will click on it, so user can download the QR code. So now let's go to the create QR here. So here what we are going to do here. So here first of all we need to handle the form. So for that I'm going to write on submit. So on submit we are going to handle submit here. So we are going to handle submit, and then here we will be having the QR value like this. What we can do here, so first of all let's create the constant here. So let's create the QR value first, and then here I'm going to create a function, so that will be for the handle submit. So this will generate the QR code for us. So first of all we have to prevent the default behavior of this, so let's print the default behavior. So here we are going to take the help of QR code. So let's go to the QR code documentation, and here you can see that we can use it through the canvas here. So we can create the canvas, and in the canvas our QR code will be printed. And the second thing we are going to create, we can create the data URL. So we can create the data URL. So when we are going to create the data URL, so it will create the data URL. So that URL we can apply in the image tag. and using that data URL our image of QR code will be shown. So let's do that. So first of all we are going to import. So let's import QR code from QRcode. So we have the QR code here, and then here we are going to use async await. So let's write async here, and here we are going to write the response. So response will be our QR code or data value. So just we are going to console log the response here. Just save this, and now let's move here. So here we have some errors. So let's see what are those errors here. So the error is that use state is not defined. So we have that error. So that's because I have used the use state here, but I haven't imported the use state from the React. Just save this. Now you can see that it's perfectly working. Simply enter the text here. So like I'm entering anything and click on plus. So here we have some error here. So like not input text. So that's because we don't have any QR value here. So first of all we have to mention the QR value, and here what I'm going to do. So here I'm going to write QR code image URL as well. So QR code image URL. So because we need the image URL, so we have to add that in this response as well. So here we have QR value and set QR value here. So for that we are going to control this input. So first value is QR value, and on change we are going to set the QR value, and here we have to check first if QR value is present or not. So if QR value is not present, then instead of returning, so we are going to return with alert, please enter some value. Now let's click on plus. You can see that we have to enter some value here. So I'm entering value like Fullyworld web tutorials. Simply press enter. So now you can see that we have this data image here. So we have this data image. So when I will open this in a new tab, and you can see that we have this QR code now. So we have this QR code. So now how we can show this QR code using this data image under here. So here we have to show the QR code, and when the user will click on that QR code, so user can download that QR code as well. So now let's see how we can do that. So this is very simple. So first of all we have to save this data value here. So simply write set QRL image URL as a response, and now here we will see. So we have this card, and we have this card body, and now we have this form. So we have this form, and here we can create the image here. So margin top 4, and you can see that we have this image. So only this will work when our QR image URL is present. So just save this. So we are saving this, and let me reload it. So here we will write Fullyworld web tutorials, and simply press on this one, and now you can see that we have this QR code generated here. So let me add this to the center, that is MX Auto. So it should be in the center, it is not in the center. So let me add one thing here in the card body. We are going to write display flex and flex column align items center. Just save this. So now you can see that it's perfectly in the center here. So it's perfectly in the center. Now we have to make this like when user will click on this QR code, so user should so when we are clicking on this QR code, so user should also able to download the QR code here. And here one more thing we can do, so we can mention the QR code value here as well. So let's first of all add the functionality of the downloading of this QR code here. So for that, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to add the anchor here. So I'm going to add the anchor, and its href will be QRL image URL, QR image URL, and here we are going to write download. So it will download the qr.png and the source will be the data URL. Just save this. So now when user will click on this, so you can see that user can download this here. So user can download this. So let me download it anywhere. So I'm downloading under the desktop here. Just save this. So when I will open this, so you can see that we have this QR code. So QR code is getting downloaded. So this means that this is working very perfectly. So now what we have to do here, so when the user is generating the QR code, so we have to remove this value as well, and then we have to make sure that user can read this QR code as well. So now let's, without wasting any time, so let's do this. So first of all, let's clear the value here. So clearing the value, set QR value to null. Just save this. So this will only clear the value here. So when I'm entering here again, you can see that we have the QR code here, and I'm writing any other thing. So we have different QR code, and Fullyworld web tutorials, so we have different QR code. So now let's go ahead and let's see how we can read the QR code. So reading QR code is very easy. So there are two methods to read the QR code. So one is with the webcam, and second is with the help of file. So we are going to do the second method with the file here. So for that we are going to use QR scanner. So previously we were using React QR reader, so we have also installed React QR reader, but we have some issues with this. So whenever you are creating some reference, so there is some issue with forward reference. So I tried creating a forward reference also, but the reference we are not getting. So we have the alternative of this library, so that is QR scanner. So it is pretty good. So this QR scanner we are going to use now. So we are going to remove this React QR reader, and we are going to install this QR scanner. So first of all, let's do that. So here I have opened the terminal here, and in the terminal, first of all, we have to remove React QR reader. So you can see that in our package.json we have React QR reader. So I have already installed QR scanner, but I will tell you how you can install it again. So yarn remove this React QR reader. Just remove this, and then we are going to install this QR scanner. So you can see that it is removed successfully. So now use yarn add QR scanner. So we are going to use this library here. Now just close the terminal, and here what we will do. So first of all, here let me do this to the center. So here we will be having the display flex and align items center, and justify content will be center. Save this. Now our this button will be in the center here. So you can see that this button is in the center. So now what we want, so when user will click here, so we want to open the input here. So for that, here what we will do, so let's go to the create QR, and here we are going to copy this. So in the card body we have this margin of 4. So we will be using the same div under the card body here like this, and here what we are going to do here, so here we will add one input tag here. So we will add one input tag. Input type will be file. So we are having the type as file here. Now what we have to accept, so we have to accept the png. So dot png will be there, jpg and jpeg. And then we don't need any class here, so just close this. And yes, we have to add the class name as well. So instead of form control, we are going to write display none. So we don't have to show this input here. So now you can see that user will not know that we have some input. So now when I will go to the elements as well, so you can go here, you can go here. So you can see that we have the input here, but this input is not showing here. Yeah. So but we have the input here, but it's not showing in the code, not showing in the input here. So now we have to create state here to add the file. So file and set file. So we are going to use state, and here we have to also manage this file here, that is on change. We are going to select the first file, that is e.target.files. So this is just a basic. Now here what we have to do, so we have to create the reference of this as well. So let's create a reference of image. So file reference. So we will be using useref. So let's import useref also from the React, and then we are going to use the reference in the input. So in the input, reference is working perfectly. So now we have to add the click here, click event. So let's add on click. We are going to handle the click here. We are going to handle click, and then just write handle click here. On the handling of the click, what we are going to do, so we have to click on the input here. So we have to click on the input. So just save this. So now when the user will click on the input, after that what we have to do, so we have to console log the file here, file data. So just save this. So now let's test this if this is working or not. Just click on scan QR code and click on qr.png. So you can see that we have nothing, we have null here. So null because it is opting this, and on change is not working. So but on change is working, but whenever it is clicking here, so by default you can see that we have the file null. So this means that after the click, the second console is also running. So that's why we have this issue here. So no problem. So we can do here like this, json.stringify the file. So here we can see the file as well, file data. So you can see that qr.png. So we don't have any file data for now. So set file, everything is good. Yeah. So here you can see that we have this click here. Means whenever the user will click on the button, so dialog box will be appeared for the image, and we are setting the image here, image file here. And then here we have to use the handle change. So we are going to add the handle change here instead of that. So here we are going to set the file. So you can see that we are using this like this, but we are going to use handle change here. So on change, handle change. So after the change, what we will do, so here we are going to use the QR scanner. So and let's add one new data here, new use state here, set data. And then here we are going to take the help of QR scanner. So import QR scanner. So QR scanner from QR scanner. And when we will go to the documentation of QR scanner here, so you can see that we can use QR scanner.scan image to scan the image here. So let's do that. So here we will use QR scanner dot scan image, and we are going to scan the file. Here we can use async and await as well. So const result is equals to await QR scan image, and we are going to scan the file. And then here what we can do here, so here we can just console log the result, console.log the result. Just save this. So now let's try this here. So now let's choose a QR image. You can see that we are getting Fullyworld web tutorials. So we have created this one previously. So you can see that Fullyworld web tutorials, we have this QR code, and here we have this QR code. You can see that. So now how we can show this QR code here? So let's do that. So this is very good. So here we will see if we have the file or not, and then we are going to just add the image, and here we are going to add this thing as well. Just save this, and now you can see that we have image as well. So we have to add it here. So it will be display flex, it will be flex column. Just save this. So now you can see that we have this image here, and you can see that we have the same image. So this image is pretty same, this QR code is pretty same. So now we have to render the data here. So how we can do that? So for that, what we are going to do, so here display flex will be there, and we are going to use flex column, and here we are going to use if data is there. So here we are going to set the data. So set data to result, and if data is there, so then we are going to just show the data here, and it will be having the class name as display 5 and font weight bold. So we have the data as this one, and we need the margin top as 5 as well. Just save this. And now let's scan the QR code again. So qr.png. So we still not have the data here. So just reload this, scan qr.png. So you can see that now we have the data here. So data is Fullyworld web tutorials. So let it be small, display 5 instead of display 5, let it be small here. Just save this. So we have the data as Fullyworld web tutorials. So it is very good. So it is working very perfectly. So for today this is enough. If you like this video, please like this and subscribe our channel. So at last, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.